As you may or may not know, Hoyoverse is working on another big project following, Star Rail, Zenless. This one of course is Honkai Nexus Anima. Now in this video I want to go over if specifically Honkai Star Rail fans are going to enjoy Honkai Nexus Anima, the next Honkai title in the Honkai series of course. Now initially, from what we can infer from the first closed beta test of Honkai Nexus Anima, it seems really identical to Honkai Star Rail. It has the same kind of UI, the story is told in the same way, there's plenty of similarities with some of the other gameplay systems, but there's only one major difference, and that's going to be the combat. Now, when you build up characters, it has the same kind of conventional relics artifact system that we can find in all the Hoyoverse games, but the thing that's really interesting about Honkai Nexus Anima's combat is, unlike with Star Rail's turn-based, this one is real-time like the other Hoyo games, but it's not actual like hack and slash like some of the other games or elemental coverage. This one is team fight tactics, so it's literally an auto chess. You take out the little Pokemon, which are the ones that have the actual like relic builds on them, by the way, not the characters themselves. You take out the Pokemon, you have a big roster of them, you throw them out on the field, and they're the ones doing the damage and the combat for you. There's really not a lot of substance to it. Now this is going to be really hit or miss for so many people, but at the same time I can imagine a lot of Honkai Star Rail veterans are going to enjoy this game more than they do with Honkai Star Rail, and here's why. Think back to what Honkai Star Rail was like back in the early days. It was a lot more casual. You could use any character and make them work, really. Any character, any build, they would work. The endgame was really simple at the time. We had two endgame modes and that was it, MOC and Simulated Universe. There was quality of life being done, and they did start to build upon the endgame and the meta pretty early on, but it wasn't really to the same level that the game is at right now. Everything was just more simple, straight up. Even the story was a lot less in-depth emotionally than what we see right now. It was pretty filler, happy-go-lucky. Now I've seen a lot of Honkai Star Rail veterans these days say that that era of the game, 2023, was a better time for the game than right now. Me personally, I like modern Star Rail way more, it's not even close. But if you prefer that earlier iteration of Honkai Star Rail, when the game was a lot more simple and happy-go-lucky and more casual, Animal Crossing-esque, kind of like a certain gacha game from Hoyoverse, then you're going to like Honkai Nexus Anima. It is essentially that. It one-to-one, the same experience. The only difference is going to be the combat. I can totally see a lot of Star Rail fans who like that era of the game liking this game more and even sticking to it long term potentially. Now like I said earlier, plenty of times the combat is going to be hit or miss, but people were saying the same about Honkai Star Rail. Back when Genshin was the only Hoyo game that people were playing, RIP Honkai Impact 3rd I guess is the best one of them all. Anyways, back when people were playing Genshin before the newer Hoyo games came out, a lot of people were saying the same about Honkai Star Rail. Because it's turn-based, it's going to be hit or miss, and not a lot of people are going to want to play it. Honkai Star Rail came out, and back in launch, it was on par with Genshin in terms of popularity. It has dwindled a little bit, but the game is doing pretty fine in terms of popularity right now, and it rivals Genshin Impact in terms of revenue a lot of the time. It rivals Genshin in terms of popularity a lot of the time. It's pretty popular. The game is straight up mainstream. There's people I know in real life who I never would have expected to even know about the game who actively play it. So it is definitely a really popular game. There's no doubt about that. And we could see a very similar thing with Honkai Nexus Anima. It has the same kind of open world premise that Genshin Impact has, although there's a lot less emphasis on exploration. It's still there. There's branching paths in the story, but they all tie together almost like the 100 line. And it will be a unique Hoyoverse experience. There's no doubt about that. But at the same time, it really is going to be Honkai Star Rail, but casual. A Honkai Star Rail, but an easier game. There's not really a whole lot of ways for them to make the endgame too difficult. With Star Rail, the actual combat is easy. The main thing is going to be character builds, character synergy, getting your speed tuning going. But in Nexus Anima, even if they add PvP, which it seems like they will do, there's not a whole lot that they can do to implement power creep. And will they go that route? I'm gonna be honest, people are gonna say that this game's gonna have power creep, no doubt about that. But I really don't think there's going to be extreme power creep in Nexus Anima like what we've seen with Honkai Star Rail and Honkai Impact 3rd. From the general premise of how the game appears to be, I think this one's meant to be more casual. This seems like they took Honkai Star Rail, took 70% of the assets, and just made the game more casual of an experience overall. So if you like Honkai Star Rail, but you don't like the difficulty of the endgame, then this could very well be the game for you. If you like Honkai Star Rail as a game overall, you don't really care specifically about the combat, this could be the game for you. But if you hate the idea of auto chess, you're probably not really gonna vibe with this game too much. If you like the difficulty and the emotional depth of the story in Honkai Star Rail, you're probably not going to like this game. But at the end of the day, there's not really any way for me specifically to know if you are going to like the game. It's just gonna depend on preference at the end of the day. For people who like modern day Honkai Star Rail more than old Honkai Star Rail, like 2023 Honkai Star Rail, you're not gonna like Nexus Anima that much. Me personally, I love the emotional story of newer Honkai Star Rail. I like the difficulty of the endgame. It's easy, but it's doable as a free-to-play player. I like building up real characters and not giving relics to Pokemon. So me personally, I'm probably going to play Nexus Anima for the story, but when it comes to gameplay overall, it doesn't seem like it's going to be a game for me personally. It's probably going to be like a good side game for quite a while. Maybe I'll drop it, maybe I won't. For the next Honkai game though, it is a little disappointing seeing how they went with the casual route, but I'm telling you, so many of you 2023 Star Rail fans are going to like this game, 100%. The entire game just looks like one Honkai Star Rail event, but bigger. But that's about it, I have nothing else to say, so I'll see y'all, goodbye.